This video is for ambitious women, creative women, entrepreneurial women, women who know that there is potential within them that needs to come out and be realized. You want to be in your feminine energy, you want to live a soft life, and you want the world to see your creative genius, and you want to witness it yourself. You want to help others in the process. You want to create a business that is aligned with your soul. You want to be rich. You want to be wealthy in every way possible, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, relationally healthy. There is not a world that exists where you don't have a 10 out of 10 life. You have unrealistic expectations according to everybody else, but you know that there's a version of you out there where that is your real life and you're ready to lock in and get it. If that sounds like you, then keep listening. I want to have a nuanced conversation around this idea of princess treatment because the terminology, I believe, can be misleading. There's a version of princess treatment that I want, and there's a version of princess treatment that I do not want. Having your man's credit card on your Apple Pay, having him open every single door for you, having him plan all the trips, the vacations, to dote on you, to adore you, to treat you like his princess. Yes, I want that. However, I do not want to be with a man who does everything for me because I believe that I cannot. I don't want to be with a wealthy man because I don't believe that I can create wealth for myself. I know for a fact that my most spiritual path is my most wealthy path because when I am connected to the Creator, when I am aligned with my soul's mission, I know that I will be compensated for the great value that I offer into this world. And I will not settle for anything other than that. If I was with a wealthy man who was taking care of all of my bills, offering me a soft life, to be honest, I would not be motivated to create that on my own. And listen, for some women, that could actually work for you. That could actually be your most aligned self. Everything that I say does not have to relate to every single person. In fact, it will not, and that is okay. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not trying to convince you to be like me. However, I am speaking to the woman who knows that there's potential within her, and maybe you've actually been blocked from romantic relationships, or maybe you've only attracted toxic relationships, or relationships that don't really offer you what you deserve, and you've been accepting these love crumbs. The reason for that is because you are not aligned with your soul. Soulmate is a frequency. It is not a person. When you are fully aligned with what you're supposed to do on this earth, then you will attract the soul opportunities, the soul friends, the soul family, and your soul mate. But before that, before you're in alignment, you're going to attract people who have the same psychological wounding as you. Putting the attention on how all men are trash, men are toxic, men, blah, blah, men. No. That's siphoning your energy to the man. You need to take radical responsibility for everything that has happened in your life and ask, why have I been allowing and choosing these men to stay in my life for longer than literally one date? I want to develop my discernment, develop my wisdom and my insight to be able to detect these men very quickly and cut them off as soon as I see the first sign of being treated any less than my high standard. If you're seeing this video, you're probably already a very wise woman, a very insightful woman, a very intelligent woman. And so maybe you aren't attracting toxic men in your life, but maybe you've attracted men who are healthy and yet still not fully resourced to give you the time, the attention, the money, the love that you know you deserve. But you've been settling a little bit because you're like, well, I mean, is that too much? Am I expecting too much? No, you're not. But you need to grow your vessel in order to receive the blessings that you're asking for. So yes, of course, you want your man to think of you as his princess, a man who wants to protect you, to build a world for you, to adore you, to be devoted to you, to worship you, to be obsessed with you. You want to be chosen without chasing, claimed without condition, and adored without asking. Yes, you are that man's princess, but you're also his queen because he knows that you are capable of ruling by yourself. You don't need a king to lead you because you're this little princess and you don't know what to do and your brain's turned off. Yes, there's a version of that that's really nice because a man is stepping up and showing his love for you in that way, but he should also know that you are so capable, you are so powerful. In the instant that he doesn't act right, you're gone. Because why would somebody be in your life who doesn't contribute? And I'm not just talking financially. Of course, you want to be with a man who has ambition, who has drive, who's going to do what it takes to create a good life for himself and for his family. So yes, you want a man who has financial responsibility and who is financially literate. But if you put so much emphasis on how much money a man has, that means that your standards are actually low. For instance, if you're a spiritual woman and you want to attract a spiritual mate, there might be a man who is really kind, really adoring, who has money, who's financially responsible, but doesn't meet you on that spiritual level. And you might let that slide if you're putting too much of an emphasis on money. There's this glorification of women who just don't do anything and turn their brains off and the man does everything for them. I am not a proponent of that. There are a lot of women who are. And a lot of the people that we idolize, like Nara Smith, Shira Seven, they all have their own businesses. They all make their own money. They are not those kinds of women who are getting princess treatment because they can't provide for themselves. They absolutely can. And this isn't about giving into hustle culture and living within the matrix. There is a feminine way to build wealth. And I believe that a way to create your dream life where you put yourself in the soft life because you have appreciating assets that pay for your lifestyle is to become financially literate, to grow a personal brand through content creation, figure out how to make content just a part of your lifestyle, just film whatever you're doing so that you literally get paid to exist. Whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you say, however you live, the thoughts that you have, just put that all on the internet, find your people, learn a profitable skill, and teach people how to do that. You don't have to build a business from a masculine place. You could do it in a feminine way. Masculine energy is going to call it sales, but feminine energy is solving your problem with empathy. I have no problem with sales because I believe that there are people who are struggling, who are suffering. And if I have the solution, I have empathy for that person and I want to help them solve their problem so that they can live a beautiful, amazing life. And I personally know what it takes to go through this struggle and I want to collapse time for that person. And of course, I should be compensated fairly for my knowledge, my wisdom, and my own suffering that I went through to gain this knowledge. That is the most spiritual thing you can do because it believes in your worth. It's not undercutting or minimizing what I actually bring. But sales at its core is empathy. That's the feminine way to do it. Masculine energy is branding. I need to have a brand, but sometimes people focus on the wrong thing, like colors and logos and websites. Like, yes, you need to have all those things, but at its core, the feminine energy, branding is knowing who you are. It is deeply understanding what value you bring to the world, and from that, the colors come. Who are you? Are you bright, vibrant, and enthusiastic? Then your colors and your websites will come from that place. That's the feminine energy. It's who you are. Masculine energy is going to focus on the outcome. Feminine energy is the vision, the intuition, creating a movement, creating community. Masculine energy might say clients. Feminine energy is going to say community. And this is not male versus female. This is in business. We need both feminine and masculine energy, but you can create a business from a more feminine place. Business is dominated by masculine energy, and we're kind of learning how to include the benefits of a feminine perspective when it comes to building wealth. Wealth creation is very feminine. Sales funnels, very feminine. You work less, you provide a lot of value, you gain more freedom, more time. You're not trading your time for money. It's flowing, it's intuitive. And that's why I really believe that every woman should be a part of the creator economy if you want to put yourself in the soft life. Yes, of course, be with a man who can provide for you, who's your best friend, who treats you like a princess, who wants to give you the world, but always have your own money, have your own mission, have your own purpose, have your own perspective, one that's going to keep him obsessed with you for the rest of your life. But again, it's not even about him. It's about you being fully embodied, fully in alignment, fully resourced in every way. I believe that content creation is one of the most important skills that we're going to need, and showing up consistently, believing in yourself, not fearing failure, stepping into the spotlight, being seen. And that's why I created a free course and a free workbook for anybody who's just getting started, who knows that they want to build this kind of life. Maybe you're lost, maybe you don't know how to develop consistency, so that free download is in the description. I wanted to share this thought about corporate versus entrepreneurship. I believe that What we are calling entrepreneurship is actually the more natural way of creating wealth. If each and every person knew and understood what value that they brought to the world, created a business around that, and it was meaningful, it was fulfilling, and it was true for them, that's utopia. There's enough money to go around. It's just that certain people do not have the skills or the mindsets necessary in order to create it. The information is out there, but it's the action and the self-belief that propels someone to actually do it. It's difficult with entrepreneurship because there are ups and downs. You have to figure things out. You have to ride the wave. You have to be intuitive about things. And corporate tries to take this very natural ebb and flow of wealth creation and money, and it tries to put it in a format that is very predictable. And they call it safety. When at the end of the day, you are not safe, you are stuck, you are trapped. It's literally another form of slavery. You could literally be fired at any moment. Even if you're a top performer, you don't have control. You might be miserable. You have to clock in, clock out. You have to ask when you have to go on vacation. That's not freedom. That's not safety. Entrepreneurship is freedom and safety. This is not an anti-man message, but because men were taking on the task of provision for so long, of course, the work structure is based off masculine energy, male hormones, and the predictability that comes with corporate is not congruent to what it means to live life. If you think about a healing journey, it's not linear. Corporate tries to take something that is meant to have ebbs and flows and create a linear structure around it. And anyone who's created freedom, liberation, choice, resources knows that it's about ownership. It's about being your own boss. And people who are not willing to go on this sort of treacherous journey of figuring out your value and undergoing the ebbs and flows, they don't want to think, so they outsource their thinking to corporate. That is actually princess energy. Princess energy and corporate energy are the same thing. It's saying, I don't want to think. I don't want to have to make decisions. Somebody else do it for me. Somebody else do the hard work for me. Somebody else figure out the ebbs and flows. I'm just going to sit here, tell me what to do, and I'll be a little drone, and I'm okay with that. Certain people actually just want to live a life like that. They like the predictability. I really believe that our higher selves are always calling us to more. Some people are not awake and they will never wake up, and that's okay. But if you want to be an awakened woman, a powerful, capable woman who figures out how to live a soft life through doing the work, you have to put effort through it. God will bless it, but you have to start it and you have to put in the reps. You have to go through seasons of loneliness. You have to withstand the price that you pay in order to live a soft life instead of shortcutting it, finding a rich man who controls that and outsourcing all your power to him. Being a fully embodied person means having masculine and feminine energy, and it actually feels so good. Not being overtly masculine or having toxic masculine energy, but finding that power within you, that ambition, that drive is such an incredible feeling. Building a personal brand, building social capital is the fastest way to put yourself in the soft life. If you want to know how to do it and you want to know how to be relentlessly consistent, download my free course in the description. It is there for you as a resource because I want you to magnetize your dream opportunities, your dream life to be so aligned that you get every single thing that you want. You have a 10 out of 10 life, not a 9.5, not a 9.8, a literal 10 out of 10 life where you wake up fully present, alive, awake, excited to live in your calling and your mission and your purpose, and to be that wealthy woman that you know that you are. That's all I have to share today. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.